This has to be it. It won't be it. I can guarantee you now that it won't be it. I can guarantee you also that he will still be in a job after the international break. There appears to be a real lack of desire within the club to actually take any action to get rid of this manager. Look, 1-1 against Falkirk away is not acceptable. It is just not even acceptable a little bit. It is just appalling. Genuinely appalling. I mean, honestly, I've watched some rubbish over my life. I'm 47 years old now. I've been a Rangers fan since 1986, 87, so nearly 40 years as a fan. He's the worst ever manager I have ever seen in charge of this club. He is, I would say, to be honest with you, the worst football manager I have ever seen anywhere in the game. He genuinely is appalling. He genuinely is just one of the worst ever there has ever been. He is so far out of his depth, it's actually scary. He's drowning. He's in the, if you could liken it to where he's drowning in the Marianas Trench. He's so deep now, he can't get out of it. He's gone. And you listen to these post-match comments that he makes, and he comes out with utter rubbish. He says we were unlucky. He says that, we had the chances to win the game. From when they equalised, when Cartwright scored that equaliser, we didn't have another shot on target in the rest of that game. There was no impetus. There was no throwing everything at them. There was just nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, if we come away from that game this afternoon where they'd equalised and then, for the rest of that game, we had just gone hell for leather and had chance after chance after chance, and their goalkeeper had been man of the match, and we've been unlucky with our then fair enough, could see that. But it wasn't like that. It was genuinely, absolutely dreadful. I mean, it was, again, abject. You listen to what he says. He said, because of what I see every day with the players, it's the training bollocks again. How invested they are in it, how they run. If I felt any different, I would feel differently here. He's not seeing reality. And they can run hard and they can work hard in training, but it's genuinely not, Russell, it's not training. It's the matches. You've got to look at the matches. And in the matches, you genuinely watch and you don't see that hard running. You don't see that effort. You don't see that progress that he thinks he sees in training. And look, as I've said, training is different to playing a match. I remember coaching, and I never coached at the same higher level, but I remember coaching kids and young adults football. And I remember seeing some absolute world beaters in training, but the moment you put them in a game situation, they went to pieces. They couldn't cope with it. They couldn't cope with the pressure. They couldn't cope with playing, in a game situation. He also said he believes he can turn things around at Rangers, but it takes responsibility for the situation. But he's not expecting any talks with the club's hierarchy after the 1-1 draw. Well, why? Why would you not be? I mean, we sit 8th in the table. We've scored 6 goals in 7 games. With a start that hasn't even been hard. We haven't been to Tynecastle. We haven't had to go to Easter Road. We haven't been to Parkhead. We haven't been to Pittodrie. There's no tough away games in that stretch. You wouldn't say that any of the away games would be what you would describe as the toughest away games to take that we would have. Not that any of those games should be tough for Rangers, but in the way we are, in the kind of type of time we're playing, going to Tynecastle, going to Easter Road, going to Pittodrie, going to Parkhead, you would describe as those tougher away trips, to going to Tannadice to some degree. We haven't had any of those. We've actually had quite an easy start to the season, and yet we sit 8th. Genuinely appalling. I mean, it is so bad now. This wasn't even amateur. It was worse than amateur. It was genuinely poor. And Russell Martin comes out with these comments about, we were unlucky. I thought the lads worked well. I thought they played well. I can see improvement there. I can see them learning. To quote what Chris Boyd said after the game today, it's getting worse. I don't know what game Russell Martin was watching. Unbelievable. He comes out with, I don't want to make excuses, but Falkirk's pitch wasn't great. I mean, genuinely lost the plot. And I'm honestly looking at this tonight and thinking, if Andrew Kavanagh and Parag Marathe and Thelwell and Stewart can't see how bad this is, they can't see it, then they're either deliberately sabotaging this football club, or they just genuinely don't give a bollocks and they think it's funny. I don't know which one it is, but they've got to go. They have got to. He's got to go. You know, the post-match press conference was little more than an absolute car crash. It was an absolute car crash. It genuinely was. It was one of those where you just watched and you just thought, this can't. It can get worse. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's getting worse. And it was so bad you had to watch to see how bad it was going to get. I mean, genuinely, he is just so bad. I mean, honestly, the football is dire. The play is boring. And, you know, we were lucky to be 1-0 up. We were lucky to get that goal. They could have had, if they'd actually organised themselves and sorted themselves out, if they actually had a proper forward, then they probably could have been a couple of goals up by the time we scored. I mean, genuinely, it is so bad. You know, genuinely. You know, he comes out with, you need a style to win things. Russell, we haven't got a style. There is no style to this team whatsoever. He's got to be sacked. I mean, I honestly can't see how this man can stay in his job. You know, he says that he hasn't got players yet that can just turn up and win games. They're professional footballers, Russell. That's their job. And if they can't turn up and win games, that's on you, because you're the manager, or head coach, sorry. You're there to organise them, to put them on the park with the best possible chances to actually succeed at what you're doing. I mean, honestly, you know, and he talks about mentality. It's not the player's mentality that's the problem. It's his mentality. The fact that he honestly, I think he's having a mental health emergency. I really do. Genuinely think that he's lost the plot. I mean, he is the worst manager in Rangers football history. And it's not even close anymore. I mean, Pedro, Paul Le Guen look like Pep Guardiola and Arsene Wenger in comparison to Russell Martin. Mark Warburton looks like Brian Clough in comparison. I mean, Ali McCoist looks like Sir Alex Ferguson in comparison to Russell Martin. I mean, he is just utterly losing the plot on a regular basis. And if Thelwell, if Stewart cannot see that, they need to go as well. They've got to go as well. Because this is a disaster and it is getting worse and worse and worse. Every comment I'm reading on social media tonight that I'm going through, when I've been going through it before making this video, every single person, that interview, holy fuck, oh my God, could this get any worse? What a car crash. That's embarrassing. You know, honestly, guys, he's gone. He's got to go. And if he doesn't go, I genuinely don't know how bad it's got to get. Genuinely don't know. Because Graz the other night was embarrassing. This was embarrassing. It's gone beyond embarrassing. It's gone to just utterly pathetic. And he is, like I said, the worst in our club's history. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one.